Welcome. Welcome to the deep dive.
Sometimes the simplest things we do every day, the things we barely think about, they can actually have surprising depth, real
Yeah.
practical value. And today we're doing a deep dive into one of those, talking about the weather. Sounds basic, right? But it's actually a really significant part of everyday English. Loads of opportunities for connection there.
Oh, absolutely. And what's really interesting is why this matters so much for you, the learner.
Mhm.
Because talking about the weather, it's not just, filling silence. It's an easy and natural way to sound friendly, fluent even,
Mm.
confident. It goes way beyond just saying sunny or rainy or cloudy, way beyond.
Right.
You're talking about how people use it to show emotion, build rapport, maybe even subtly comment on things. It's much more than just the forecast.
Exactly. So, our mission here in this deep dive is basically to give you the tools. Tools
Yes.
to make your weather chats interesting,
Mm.
natural, really native-like. So, no more sort of awkward pauses when someone mentions how hot it is.
Yeah, we want to get past that. We'll look at phrases like raining cats and dogs, or maybe something like a spot of bother with the weather. Where do they come from? When do you actually use them?
And the way we'll do that is by looking at real-life phrases, yeah?
Yeah.
Giving you some cultural tips too, maybe even some short stories, to see it all in action. It's about making the language feel alive, showing how these seemingly simple chats can open doors to much deeper communication.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. You have that feeling, right? You're maybe waiting for a bus or bumping into someone at work,
Mm-hmm.
and someone just says, lovely day today, isn't it? Or maybe, wow, it's freezing out there.
Yeah, or did you see the forecast for the weekend? It happens all the
It
time.
totally
Eh?
does. It's like the universal icebreaker.
Yeah.
The thing we say when we don't know what else to say. But have you ever really thought about why? Why weather, of all
Wow.
things, especially in English-speaking places?
That's a great starting point because it really is so much more than just polite chatter. Today, for our deep dive, we're really going to unpack that. Why these weather conversations aren't just, common, but actually pretty essential for connecting socially.
Right? They're like a social lubricant, aren't they? It
Yeah.
goes way beyond just needing to know if you should grab an umbrella.
Exactly. And our goal here is to give you, the listener, sort of an insider's guide. We want to cover the vocabulary, sure, but also the phrases and maybe the more subtle cultural stuff.
Yeah, so you can jump into these everyday chats feeling, well, confident, natural, turning simple weather talk into a way to actually connect with people.
And we're drawing all these insights from a really useful guide that's specifically designed to help make these conversations feel intuitive and natural. So, yeah, let's dig in.
Okay, so first things first, that big question, why? Why do we talk about the weather so much? What's the, secret sauce?
Well, the guide highlights something we kind of feel instinctively. It's just one of the most common ways to start small talk. But the interesting part is why it works so well.
Okay.
It's kind of like a social thermometer, you know? It's not just filling silence, it's a really low stakes way to see if someone's open to talking.
Ah, right, like testing the waters.
Exactly. You offer this shared, completely neutral observation. Lovely day today, isn't it? At the
Yeah.
bus stop. And you invite a response that requires almost no commitment. It makes you sound friendly, approachable.
Human, even.
Yeah, just human. Or, you're in an elevator, someone says, it's freezing out there this morning. That's not just about the cold.
It's like we're both experiencing this.
Precisely. It's a shared moment. And native speakers, they use these lines constantly. It's like a collective nod to our environment.
So takeaway number one, don't brush off these simple lines. They're actually foundational for everyday interaction.
Right. But to play the game, you need the words. Let's touch on some core vocabulary, not like a giant list, but focusing on how the words add a bit of flavor.
Okay. Like for sunny weather, beyond just sunny.
Yeah, you've got sunny, clear, obviously, but maybe bright and clear. Or if it's really spectacular, you might hear glorious sunshine.
Ooh, I like that. And what if it's really, really sunny? Like intense.
Then you get into things like the sun is blazing or the sun is beating down, really paints a picture, doesn't it?
It does. Or if there's absolutely no clouds.
Not a cloud in sight. People actually say that.
Okay, what about cloudy days?
Well, you have cloudy, partly cloudy, but if the whole sky is covered, that's overcast. Or you might just say gray skies.
Patchy clouds. Is that a thing?
Definitely. Or a few clouds, but mostly sunny. Sometimes people say the clouds are hanging low. That gives a feeling of it being heavy, almost oppressive.
Got it. And rain. We need rain words.
Oh, yeah. Beyond just rainy. If it's light, it's drizzling, just a bit of wetness.
But if it's coming down hard,
And it's pouring, or even more dramatic, pouring buckets or coming down in sheets, you really feel the intensity with those.
yeah, coming down in sheets sounds serious. And just a generally wet day.
Maybe a wet and gloomy day captures the mood, too.
And temperature. The obvious one.
Right, the spectrum. Hot, warm, mild, cool, chilly, cold, and freezing.
So you can just say it's a bit chilly this morning, isn't it?
Yep, or looks like it might rain later. Or that classic complaint, it's so muggy today. Ugh, can't stand this humidity.
Okay, this next bit from the guide I found really interesting. It's the difference between the actual number, the temperature, and how it feels.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Yes. This is key because it taps into that shared human experience. It's not just data, it's about comfort or discomfort. Saying how it feels makes it instantly relatable.
So, like, it's 25 degrees.
But it feels like 30 because of the humidity.
Exactly. Or the opposite, the thermometer says 5 degrees, but that wind chill makes it feel colder.
And we use exaggerations too, right?
Totally. It's boiling when it's super hot. It's freezing
Yeah.
when it's bitter cold, or maybe it's scorching outside. These convey the feeling, not just the number.
And even if it's cold, but okay.
You might hear, it's not too bad, or it's chilly, but manageable. It's all about expressing that subjective human experience of the weather.
Which leads perfectly into how we connect weather to our moods, doesn't it? This feels like where the small talk can start to get a bit more personal. Absolutely. This is where you move from just observing to actually sharing a little bit of yourself. Things like, I feel so lazy when it's raining.
Or this sunshine just makes me happy. We all feel that, right?
Exactly. Or the opposite, gray days make me feel a bit down. You're not just talking about the sky. You're talking about how the sky makes you feel.
You can go deeper, too. Like, gray skies always put me in a quiet mood.
Or that first warm day after winter feels magical. Everyone knows that feeling. Or even, I feel recharged on sunny mornings. It makes the conversation much richer.
Okay, so beyond just good or bad weather, what are some more descriptive ways to talk about it? Like if it's really unpleasant.
Yeah, the guide suggests moving beyond just, it's bad weather. You could say, it's miserable out there, or what a gloomy day. They sound much more natural and convey that feeling.
And for nice days, how to show enthusiasm.
Oh, definitely be enthusiastic. What a beautiful day. Or maybe the sun finally came out. If it's exceptional. Can you believe this weather? It's gorgeous.
Or just linking it to an activity. Perfect weather for a walk.
It's simple.
Exactly. Now let's add a few more nuanced adjectives. These really help add specificity, like damp.
Damp, slightly wet.
Yeah, slightly wet often feels a bit cold and clammy, not soaking, just damp. Then there's crisp.
Crisp, like autumn air.
Precisely. Cold, fresh, dry air often feels invigorating. Then you have stifling.
Stifling sounds uncomfortable.
It is. Very hot, often humid, makes it hard to breathe. And soggy.
Soggy is definitely wet, like really wet.
Totally soaked. Your shoes get soggy in the rain, the ground gets soggy.
So give me some examples. How would you use damp?
It's a bit damp outside. You might need a jacket, or the basement feels damp.
And crisp.
I love crisp autumn mornings. It's almost universally positive.
Stifling?
It's stifling in here. Can we open a window? Definitely negative.
And soggy.
My shoes got soggy walking through that wet grass, or the bread went soggy.
Got it. And wind. You mentioned wind words earlier? Right. Different kinds of wind. A breeze is usually gentle, often nice.
Like a sea breeze.
Yeah. A gust is sudden and strong, like whoosh.
Okay.
A gale is a very strong, sustained wind, often part of a storm, and blustery.
Blustery sounds unpleasant.
It usually is.
Yeah.
Windy, often cold, maybe driving rain or snow with it. Rough.
So you could say there's a nice breeze today? Simple.
Or watch out, there's a strong gust coming. A warning.
Or it's quite blustery outside, better grab a heavy coat.
Exactly. See how those specific words paint a clearer picture.
Definitely. Okay, so we have the words, the vocabulary toolbox is stocked. Now, how do we actually use them smoothly in a conversation? It's one thing to know drizzle, another to chat naturally about it.
Right, and the guide has a great little technique for this. The comment plus open question.
Okay, how does that work?
You start with a simple weather observation, like, lovely weather we're having today, or maybe, finally some sunshine after all that rain.
Just a basic comment?
Yeah. Then immediately you follow up with an open-ended question, something that invites more than a yes or no, like,
Right.
are you planning anything outdoors? Or do you like this kind of weather? It passes the conversational ball back to them easily.
Ah, I see. Comment, then question. Makes sense.
And there's even a neat 3-step pattern, especially good for meeting someone new or wanting to deepen the chat a bit.
3 steps, okay.
Step 1, make a comment. Beautiful morning, isn't it? Step 2, add your opinion or feeling. I wish it would stay like this all week.
Okay, comment, opinion.
Step 3, ask a question. How's the weather where you live? Or something similar. It layers the interaction nicely. Comment, opinion, question.
That feels very natural. What about just sounding natural in general? Any tips?
Yeah, definitely. Short comments often sound more natural than full, grammatically perfect sentences.
So instead of, it is very hot today,
Try so hot today, or can you believe this heat? Or even just crazy weather, huh? Much more casual, more familiar.
right, less formal.
And this is really important. Remember to react. When someone tells you about their weather, show you're listening.
How? Like what kind of reactions?
Simple things. Really. Oh, wow. Lucky you. Or, sounds lovely. The guide actually mentions that forgetting to react is a really common mistake. It makes the conversation feel flat.
Okay, react. Got it. What about when the weather changes suddenly? People seem to love talking about that.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in places where the weather is unpredictable. Quick changes are prime conversation starters.
Like what kind of phrases?
Looks like it's clearing up, the sun's coming out. Or the opposite, clouds are rolling in.
Or it turned cold all of a sudden?
Yep. Or it started raining out of nowhere. People love to comment on the surprise element.
Like you was sunny just a minute ago.
Exactly. Or typical spring weather changes every 5 minutes. It's another shared experience moment.
To make it even more engaging, you mentioned adding feelings and opinions earlier.
Yeah, don't be afraid to share your preferences. It makes you sound more interesting, more real.
So maybe something like, I don't mind the cold, but I just can't stand humidity.
Perfect. Or rainy days just make me want to stay in and read a book.
Or even something unexpected like, actually, I love thunderstorms. They're so exciting to watch.
Yeah. Sharing that personal connection makes the conversation way more engaging than just stating facts about the weather.
And we obviously link weather to what we're doing or planning to do.
Constantly. Perfect day for a picnic, isn't it? Or bit too wet to go hiking today.
Or maybe, I think I'll just stay indoors. It's so gloomy out.
Right. And you can also use the weather to explain your plans or decisions.
How so?
Like, if it stays sunny this afternoon, I'll go for a walk. Or, I'm really hoping it doesn't rain later. I've got plans. Makes your reasoning clear and relatable.
So after the opening comment and maybe a follow-up, how do you keep it going?
Ask more questions. Keep showing interest. What's it usually like where you live? Do you prefer summer or winter? Maybe even, ever been caught in a really crazy storm?
Get them to share their own stories or experiences.
Exactly. And don't forget to express genuine surprise when the weather does something unexpected.
Like,
Wow, I really wasn't expecting it to be this warm today. Or I thought for sure it would rain, but look, it's clear. Or pointing something out, wow, look at those dark clouds coming in fast.
that adds energy to the conversation. Okay, let's go a bit deeper now. What about cultural stuff, regional differences? Idioms.
Yeah, this is fascinating. The guide points out differences, for example, between UK and US English weather words. It's not just vocabulary, it reflects maybe slightly different experiences or focuses.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so for a cold wind in the UK, you might hear brisk, which can actually sound quite pleasant, invigorating. In the US, you're more likely to hear chilly, which just sounds cold.
Interesting. Any others?
Light rain. UK often says drizzle. US might say sprinkle. Heavy rain. UK torrential rain. US more likely pouring rain. But interestingly, muggy seems to be universal.
Everyone hates muggy weather.
Apparently so. But yeah, these differences aren't huge, but they add local flavor. And talking about weather in different places adds a lot of richness.
Comparing your weather to somewhere else.
Exactly. It's usually pretty mild here, but the summers can get quite hot. Or winters are harsh back home. We sometimes get proper snowstorms.
Or where I live, it rains constantly. But honestly, the scenery is beautiful because of it.
Yeah, and native speakers do this all the time when describing regions. Up north, it's probably already snowing. Or out west, it's just dry and sunny most of the year.
In the city, it always feels hotter because of all the concrete, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And when you listen to an actual weather forecast on TV or an app, you'll hear specific phrasing too.
Like, what should we listen for?
Things like, they're predicting rain later, or there's a chance of showers this afternoon, or looking ahead, looks like we're in for a wet weekend.
And for good weather.
Maybe clear skies expected tomorrow. Pretty straightforward stuff, usually.
Okay, let's talk idioms. These are always fun and make you sound more fluent. What are some key weather-related ones?
First up, maybe the most common, under the weather.
Meaning feeling sick, right?
Yeah, just feeling a bit unwell, not necessarily seriously ill. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today.
Okay, what else?
Rain or shine, or come rain or shine.
That means no matter what, right? Always.
Exactly. We're going hiking, rain or shine, or he walks his dog every morning, come rain or shine, shows determination.
Got it. How about steal someone's thunder?
Ah, yeah. That means taking attention or credit away from someone else's achievement or announcement.
Like announcing your own news right after someone shares theirs.
Precisely. You've stolen their moment, their thunder.
Okay, a storm in a teacup.
That means a big fuss or commotion about something really small or unimportant. Lots of drama over nothing significant.
We all know situations like that.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the optimistic one. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Finding good in a bad situation.
Exactly. Even difficult times can have some positive aspect or outcome. And if a storm is brewing,
Trouble's coming.
yeah, it suggests that conflict or difficulty is imminent. You can feel it building.
And one more. A bolt from the blue.
That's something completely unexpected, sudden, out of nowhere, like a surprise event or piece of news. The redundancy announcement was a complete bolt from the blue.
These are great. What about seasons? The guide mentions seasonal words and traditions.
Yeah, weather is so tied to seasons. For spring, you get words like bloom, blossom, talk of mild weather, and that saying, spring showers bring Mayflowers.
Summer brings heat waves, scorching days, humidity, and those dog days of summer.
Right. The hottest, most lethargic part of summer, usually late July, August.
Autumn or fall.
You get that crisp air, falling leaves, maybe chilly mornings, that feeling of freshness after the summer heat. Brisk is another good word here.
And winter?
Frost, snowfall, freezing temperatures. And culturally, the idea of a white Christmas snow on Christmas Day is a big thing in many places.
So you might hear someone say, oh, I just love the crisp air in autumn. It feels so fresh.
Exactly. Or culturally, fingers crossed for White Christmas this year. Or complaining, these dog days are exhausting. It connects weather to shared cultural moments.
And finally, the guide really emphasized linking weather to stories. Why is that so powerful?
Because stories are engaging. They make the conversation memorable and personal. It moves beyond just observation into shared human experience.
So instead of just saying, it rained,
You say, You won't believe it. I forgot my umbrella, and of course, the moment I stepped outside, it started pouring.
Right. Or a positive one. I love walking right after it rains. Everything smells so fresh and clean.
Or, we had that heat wave last week, remember? It was absolutely unbearable. I could barely even think straight. Stories connect us, they make your English sound alive.
Okay, so wrapping this all up then, mastering weather small talk.
Hmm.
It seems like it's a small key that unlocks bigger doors, right? For actual conversations, real connections.
Absolutely. It's that low stakes entry point. It greases the wheels for building rapport.
And confidence here isn't just about knowing the words, is it?
Not at all. It's about using them, feeling comfortable with them, sharing your own little weather stories or feelings.
So we really encourage you, the listener, to think about your own weather right now. Try describing it. Use some of these words. How does it make you feel? Does it connect to your plans?
Yeah, just play with the language and maybe notice how much our language, our culture, even our daily routines are shaped by something as everyday, yet always changing as the weather.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of your day, maybe without even noticing, is actually influenced by the forecast?
Or think about this. How do the specific words you choose to describe the weather paint a picture, not just of the sky, but maybe of your own perspective, your own world?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes, thank you. We look forward to exploring more with you next time.